Hi there, Norman with iSaveTractors.com. Today, I want to give you a brief overview of our working tractor here on the farm. This is a Ford LGT 145 with a Kohler 14 horsepower engine. I'm going to give you the quick tour and show you all the features of this machine. Okay, well let's start at the rear of the tractor. This is my 5.5 foot landscape rake that I made using angle iron, and these tines are from agrasupply.com. These are the tines that are made in Italy. This whole unit weighs about 80 pounds, and then I have these two concrete blocks on, so this whole rear attachment is close to 100 pounds. It's attached to my custom-made hitch, which connects onto 2 points. This is one point right here, and that is a point right there. These connect into an 1.5 inch inner diameter square tubing, and they're held in place with these 1/2 inch Clevis pins right here. It's reinforced with these steel bars as well as this angle iron right here, and it connects to the rear axle carriers by this Clevis pin and the Clevis pin over there. And this chain is what attaches to the lift hydraulic ram that's in the center of the tractor. I'll show you that when we get up there. This transmission right here is a Peerless 2500 2-speed transaxle. It has a high and a low. This is an aluminum housing transaxle carrier, and then these are, this is a aluminum housing transaxle housing, and then these axle carriers right here are made out of cast iron. This is what supports most of the weight of the tractor, and this can hold a lot of weight back here. Moving over here, these are fluid-filled 23 by 10.5 by 12 inch tires. They're filled up with fluid. It's about 50 pounds of fluid inside, and then these are 75-pound concrete wheel weights. So between the two of them, that's an extra 250 pounds added weight. This is the rear of the tractor. I haven't gotten around to putting rear lights on, but that is on the list. You'll notice that this tractor has a lot of scratches and dings because this is our working tractor. We use this every day to manage our property. Coming over here, now the Ford LGT series, the hydrostatic series at least, have hydrostatic pedals instead of a foot control like other tractor models. This right here, I took it off. This is the brake, and then this is the forward pedal, and this is the reverse pedal. These pedals are great, especially since this tractor is equipped with a front end loader that we'll talk about in a moment. It makes using the front end loader much more efficient. Here's the control panel for the tractor. This is an ammeter up here. Steering wheel. I have a steering wheel knob. This is your ignition key. This is your PTO engagement, electric PTO. This is hooked up to our hydraulic pump for the front end loader. This is the headlights. This is your throttle lever, your choke. This is your hydraulic lift for the rear lift. So this picks up our rear implements. Pull back to pick it up, push forward to drop it down. This is the high-low selection handle for the 2-speed transaxle that's on this. So forward is high, middle is neutral, closest to the operator is low. This is the parking brake lever. This light right here turns on to indicate that your electric PTO is engaged. Coming around here. So before we get to the front end loader, I'll keep showing you just the tractor. The gas tank fill is accessed right through the hood, right in the top. This opens up to reveal the battery. I actually have it secured by 2 screws. Originally, this fiberglass hood connected to this point, and it hinged forward if you turn this, but I've modified it so it goes in permanently. Coming down here to the engine, this is a Kohler K321 14 horsepower engine. This is your starter. This is a single cylinder engine, and this is the engine that originally came on it. These Kohler engines that are for these Ford LGTs are special. This one is a K321 AQS, and the Q means there's a special oil pan. And if we come down here, you can see that the oil pan is actually welded directly to the frame of the tractor. And that's what the Q stands for. It is a special oil pan. Now look at this frame. Here's the frame for the tractor. It's a nice thick tube frame that runs the entire length of the tractor. And I'll see if I can get it down here. Like, you can see that the frame starts off low where the front axle connects, and then it kind of sweeps upward up to where the seat sits in the back. Now this is where that chain that I was pointing to earlier on the rear hitch connects to the hydraulic ram, and I'll see if I can get underneath a little bit so I can show you. Not sure if I can, but the hydraulic ram is up there, and that's controlled by the hydrostatic pump, and it pumps oil into the cylinder, which pulls this lever forward, and that is what pulls the chain tight and lifts up the rear implement. Now the frame that you're looking at right here, this part of the frame, this is where the subframe that I built for this Kwik front end loader connects to the tractor frame through this 1/2 inch grade 8 or grade 5 bolt right here. This is the subframe for the front end loader. It goes all the way to the back and connects to the rear axle carriers, the cast iron axle carriers in the back. This right here is our hydraulic gear pump. This is what is run. This is run through the electric PTO, which is right here, and driven. It drives this V-belt, which drives this gear pump, and this is what operates the front end loader. So when you turn on that PTO, it spins the PTO, and then it spins the pulley on the inside. It's right about here on the gear pump. This provides our hydraulic pressure. The hydraulic pressure goes all the way up this line right here into our control valve. And this is a 2-spool control valve with a float. The float is for the front end loader arms. That way this can kind of ride with the surface of the ground. This shiny thing right here is our hydraulic reservoir cap. It has a mesh filter on it, so it allows atmospheric pressure into the top of the tank to help the hydraulic oil flow, but it does not let in dirt and debris. So this front end loader is originally made by Kwik Manufacturing. They were commonly found on Gravely units at the time. This one I bought off of somebody, and I put it onto this Ford LGT. It took some work. I had to build a custom subframe for it, as well as kind of specially locate all of the supports. Like this support rides from this section of the front end loader upright, and it runs all the way down, and it connects to just forward. If you get, it's underneath these lines right here, just forward of the front axle onto the frame of the tractor down there. This big red hose right here, this is the suction line. This goes into the pump, and this is the pressure line. This is what's coming out of the pump, feeding the loader valve. So just so you can see how everything's connected, the valves run down these hard steel lines, and then they separate and they come off of their route to feed each hydraulic cylinder. Now it's worth mentioning, these Ford LGTs are great garden tractors if you're looking for a tractor to put a front end loader onto. And the reason why is, I'm going to try to get a video for you of this, is the front spindle here is inherently a very, very strong design. I know it's very dirty right now, but it has a built-in gusset right here. There's this big, thick steel piece. It's kind of the shape of an L. That's a gusset that acts to support the spindle. So these spindles are very, very strong compared to Cub Cadet, Wheel Horse, Case, and even Ingersoll. I have all those tractors on site, and the strongest design of spindles is found on this Ford LGT. Now, I went a little nuts and I ordered a bunch of these. I have maybe 5 spare sets of spindles for this tractor, and I have never needed to use one. And I use this tractor every single day to move dirt, gravel, and horse maneuver all throughout my property. And that is typically the weakest link on a front-end loader machine, are the spindles, as well as the steering. And if you just use some common sense when you drive around your tractor with a load, you will not damage them. Now here are the Clevis pins. This is what connects each pivot point in the tractor. So this right here is connected to the hydraulic ram that lifts the loader arms. Now this tractor can lift 6 feet in the air, and it can lift up to 500 pounds. I typically don't lift the full 500 pound capacity, but I have in the past. I use tire chains instead of agricultural tires. That way I can get equal amount of traction in reverse when I'm pulling manure. So there you have it. Oh, I may have forgotten something. Yeah, the Ford LGT series has this handy storage compartment underneath. I use it to pick up random things that I find in the horse pasture, like these electric fence holders when I'm raking up manure, to just toss those in here. So that's a nice handy little storage spot. There you have it. If I missed anything, please feel free to comment below and ask any questions that you may have. Again, this is our Ford LGT 145 with a Kwik front end loader. We use this tractor every day to manage our horse property. Thank you for saving the tractors. Look us up online, iSaveTractors.com, Facebook, and of course right here on YouTube. Subscribe, like, and share. Talk to you guys later.